You know, I love some of the haters' comments in the comment section. Y'all make me laugh. I have been ran through the coals by my government, the justice system, swatted by an FBI counterterrorism SWAT team, had to jump through tons of hoops for the court system. I've lost my job. This has torn apart my family. I almost lost my house at one point. I went got stranded, like, I don't even know how. It was like 700-800 miles away from home. I lost an art contract with a hotel construction chain. Like, they build hotels and they wanted to fill their hotels with my paintings. Nope, no more. When I finally got a new job, was getting on my feet, this has cost me advancement in that job. It has tarnished my reputation, slandered my family's name. My kids have been punished. My wife has been turned down from several jobs that she's applied for simply because she's married to me. I even have members in our own community that have turned their back. They talk a good game, but they won't talk to me. They say they stand with their J6ers, except me. I'm even not allowed in some of the January 6th rooms of, like, people in groups that say they support and are fighting for January 6th inmates, defendants, and their families. And I went to them and said, I am willing to offer any help that I can. To then be turned down from any help that I was willing to offer, and then told I'm not welcome. No reasons given. So, and I even have people asking me, well, if I'm an informant. So let me put this straight. I am not an informant. I've never been asked to be an informant. And if they did ask, I would tell them to kiss my ass, because they have destroyed my life from this setup of January 6th. That's exactly what it was. January 6th was a setup. And not only have they destroyed my life, but they've destroyed the lives of those that I love and care for, my wife, my family, my friends. So I would not help those that have set me up set up others. And the thing that really gets under my skin about all of it is that I have been nothing but public and an open book from day one. Open book. Nothing to hide. I've shared everything with y'all. I've published my videos. I have given over my videos to the fuzz. And then for some reason, people still think that I'm ingenuine or inauthentic. So let me put this to y'all straight. I go by pie. Because that's what you're going to get, is authentic pie, no matter what. Because I got nothing to hide. Full circle. This is me. My real name, on my indictment, Kenneth Joseph Owen Thomas. I hate that first name, so I go by Joseph. Which is fine. I've made it all public. I've put it all out there. And even the second superseding indictment that came through, which still can't wrap my head around, but that's because my attorney won't talk to me. So I'm sure you all may understand the frustration that comes with all of this. But I'm still thankful that I have the little bit of freedom that I have. Why am I in bond? No flipping clue. Because of the generosity of the courts and by the grace of God. That's it. I have 10 charges, many of which seem a lot more serious than those that are locked up in DC with no criminal history. I got a really crappy criminal history because I was an asshole for years and years and years. But these are the cards that I was dealt, and I'm thankful for the hand that I'm working with. And I'm doing everything I can to speak up, be loud, and fight for those that don't have a voice. So enough about me, because y'all can keep the hateful comments coming. I mean, I get threats mailed to my house. But for every person that throws a little bit of haterade in my direction, real quick, I just want to say this. I have 20, 30 more people out of the blue, just random folks that I run across that recognize my name, recognize my family, and thank us. Thank us for being willing, thank me for willing to be one of the ones that spoke up. So am I an informant? No, not one bit, and not even fucking close. Like, that's the furthest thing from it. But am I out in the open and loud as hell? You betcha. You betcha. Because the men and women that are locked up right now being persecuted, discriminated against, beaten, tortured, starved with rotten ass food, rusty ass water, no due process, no evidence shown against them for frickin' misdemeanors, they deserve every bit of fight that I have left in me. And if that means I gotta piss off my prosecutor and they throw the hammer down at me, and maybe I can make some awareness for those that are under the thumb right now, then so be it. I don't really care. Because this cause is much bigger than myself. I think about all the men, the women, and the children that are suffering because their families are torn apart, destroyed, losing their homes. Their lives will never be the same. Even if mommy or daddy gets out of jail, no charges, they still spent over a year away from their families in lockup, waiting trial, with no evidence, no due process, no conviction. Why? Because Brandon said so. And kids growing up with their dad, without their daddies, without their mommies. You understand the damage that's being caused? Or are you waiting for CNN to tell you how to react about it? Oh, CNN, you kiss my ass. I love the slanderous, downright defaming articles that are put out about me, but yet not one person has ever had the balls to call me on the phone, to hit me up in an email, anywhere, and say, hey, what's your side? This is what we're going to report on. Do you have a comment? Never once. Nope. Because they know. They know what they're pushing is lies and bullshit. 100%. But that's fine. Because when true justice comes, they'll be held culpable for the lies that they've spread. Fake news media is the enemy of the people. You should study your history, folks. Nuremberg trials. The media was held accountable. Propaganda is a weapon of war. That's why folks call this an information warfare. This is much bigger than all of us. This is our nation. This is the survival of our following generations. Your kids, your grandkids, your grandkids' kids. The future of America is dependent upon whether or not we are willing to stand up on our own 2 feet and say, no, we will not comply. This is a republic. We, the people, demand fairness, justice, equal law. Not the elites and the 1% running around doing whatever the heck they want, and us, the working class and the middle, the little guy and girls, getting kicked around like trash. So y'all got some sour pie tonight, for sure, but it's still homemade and authentic. But I'm definitely sour. I am sour at all the hatred and division within our movement, within our groups and everything else. I am tired of all the whispering and the backbiting and the infiltrators that have got into our groups and into our community. I'm tired of all the slander put out by the talking heads on TV. I'm sick and tired of having to sit and do these videos every single night to remind folks and inform folks and tell folks that American citizens are being tortured. Their families are being destroyed because they believe in our country, because they believe in freedom of speech. You know, it's one thing if somebody's found guilty by a jury of their peers of committing some heinous crime and they have a heinous punishment. But these folks are still waiting trial. They haven't been convicted of nothing. And the only thing they're accused of are misdemeanors. Minor charges. Some of which the maximum punishment says 6 months, and they've been there a year just waiting trial. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but I don't care. I'm going to scream this from the rooftops until they bury me under the prison. Because all these sons of bitches are going to be held accountable. And if my dying breath happens to be that I want truth, and that I believe in freedom, then so be it. Stand with us. Fight for freedom. It's pretty simple. You just use your voice. You show love, compassion, and unity amongst one another. As we stand united as one resounding voice to say, no, we will not comply with your tyranny, and we demand equal justice under the law, fair treatment to our citizens, due process. You know, the basic things that we've understood are part of our country from the very, very beginning. Because we are watching them dismantle them and destroy our founding values. They even have some idiots online begging for it. Oh, what a good socialist you are. The master will love you for it. Guess what, chump? They're going to throw you in cuffs and throw you away into the bottom of the fucking prison with the rest of us. Pardon my French. So to all of our J6ers, whether you're locked up in DC on electronic confinement at home, or you're sitting out here on bond like me, waiting to go face Uncle Sam nose to nose, we are fighting with you. We stand with you, and I'm going to be a loud, obnoxious SOB until the very last day. God made me stubborn for a reason, and my mama said I could be anything I wanted when I grew up. Well, I decided to be an asshole. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Try me. Sing for freedom. stand up for those that are willing to stand up for you. Hoorah.